Hello everyone. Today we will be reviewing the fifth season of The Big Bang Theory. Oh no, for some reason I feel like I've missed an episode somewhere along the way as to when Howard meets Bernadette's dad for the first time. But I don't know if I actually have or not, or whether it just shows the meeting in this season just the once, or whether I just wasn't paying attention to one episode or something along the way. It's weird. Because I don't think that Sheldon has met Bernadette's dad yet, but maybe I'm not remembering this season correctly for whatever reason. Anyway, I went back through the episodes and I don't think that they had met earlier in this season. I don't believe that they did. Anyway, Howard has the opportunity to go into space this season. So he's waiting for the astronauts to pick out his nickname. They ended up naming him Fruit Loops, even though he was hoping for his name to be Rocket Man by playing Rocket Man in the background when he's on his call with the other astronauts. Raj is still searching for somebody to be with. He finally gives up, asks his parents if they can lend him a hand. They set him up with somebody. She ends up being gay. She's trying to get into this marriage to get her parents off her back. Raj is reluctant at first, but then he talks to Howard about it, and he thinks he's going to go through with it. Howard tells him that's crazy, so he gives up on that idea. Leonard and Penny end up getting back together. He asks her to propose in bed. Oh my god. Sheldon and Amy are still going strong. They're slowly taking their relationship to the next level, or at least their next level. So Sheldon draws up this whole relationship agreement for her. Basically, she has to follow this set of guidelines, kind of like the roommate agreement that he wrote up for Leonard, but instead it's a relationship agreement just for Amy, based to kind of go towards Sheldon's needs as a partner. So then later on in the season, Amy tries this experiment on him to focus certain parts of his brain to put more of his emotion towards her, like a more affectionate. She wants him to be more affectionate towards her, is what the end goal is. So she starts playing like the Mario theme song, making him his favorite dinner, getting him his favorite drink, and then he kind of goes, uh-oh, and realizes what's happening. So he goes back home. Leonard and Sheldon talk about their woes with their ladies. Howard, in this season, proposes to Bernadette. Or no, was that in the last season? Anyway, they're going on with the wedding. They're going forward with the wedding. But then Howard's space mission gets canceled due to what he worked on not functioning properly. Then he gets another call back that they've pushed up the date of the launch. So they decide to get married with just their friends, and then they'll have the big reception later. So they end up having the wedding underneath the Google satellite at the end of the season. And I think that covers everything. I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting. Let me just see here. Oh, yes. Okay. So, the beta test mode, which was one of the funnier things in this season, when Leonard and Penny get back together, they kind of like run their relationship through like a beta test. So they give each other lists of things they could improve on, and that just ends up causing more problems to the point where they just end up fighting and just having sex all the time. So they end up slowing things back down, and then they get comfortable with one another again, so Penny says she wants to speed things back up, and that's when Leonard makes the odd proposal, which is funny. Raj embarrasses Howard at his bachelor party, and the video ends up getting uploaded by Wil Wheaton onto the internet. Anyway, YouTube, whatever he uploaded to. Sheldon and Wil Wheaton are now friends. They've squashed their beef. Kripke's kind of just joined the group as one of the gang, I guess, kind of in a way. Sheldon runs this test in the apartment, kind of like I guess it was like a disaster test for Leonard or whatever. What else is there in this season that happens? I think that's about everything. So this is kind of a shorter review. If there's anything I missed, just leave a comment below, and like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Sorry, I actually did remember one more thing just to add. One of the things that happens in this season is oh yes, sorry, Leonard was with Priya, and that was a big thing, and he almost cheats on Priya, but he stops himself. Then he finds out that Priya cheated on him with her ex-boyfriend 2 weeks prior, so they actually end up breaking up. Sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier, but they end up breaking up before him and Penny get back together. And in that episode where he asks her out again, it's like a whole 20-minute thought process of him going through everything that happens, and then he still ends up asking her out at the end of the episode. And also, Sheldon's paper is presented to Stephen Hawking, that was another thing, by Howard. So Sheldon gets to meet Stephen Hawking. He ends up making an error in the paper. Stephen Hawking finds it, and Sheldon faints in front of him. I also think this was the season, yes, it was, where Kripke and Sheldon fight for the professor that they fire, his office. They're fighting for, I guess it was his retirement party, even though he was starting to go a little insane. So they're kind of they make a joke amongst themselves about how long Sheldon has left, and then once he takes the office, he starts going insane too. He ends up getting his head stuck in this hole in the wall that's created by A, either something that was trying to get in, or B, the more horrifying as he used it, or he phrased it, something that was trying to get out of the wall. So he gets curious and decides to stick his head in the wall to see what was in there. There was something else I was saying at the beginning of this that I can't remember. I know that Howard makes Sheldon do a bunch of ridiculous tasks before he presents his paper to Stephen Hawking, and then Bernadette makes him go shopping with Howard's mother, and that was funny. So I think now that I've covered everything, because I've covered Priya now, I've covered the Raj story, I've covered Sheldon and Amy. Oh, the painting, that's what I was going to say. Amy buys Penny this painting of them together, but Penny doesn't like it, and neither does Bernadette. So Penny basically says that the painting, she takes it down every time because it makes Bernadette jealous. So she thinks that because of this, Amy will just forget about the painting. No, she says leave it up. She's just, Bernadette's just lucky we let her hang out with her. And also, basically, Amy tries to kind of steal the spotlight from Bernadette at the end, even though she's just the maid of honor, because she hasn't ever been asked to be a maid of honor before in the past, because Amy was kind of, I guess, of a loner as a child, kind of like Sheldon. So now I think I've covered everything. think I've covered every funny moment and all the storylines. And I can't, yeah, I'm trying to think, because I don't remember there ever being an episode where they were, I know it was talked about, him, Howard talking to her father, but I don't think there was another episode where they actually met. Her father just talks about meeting him first and then spending time with him, and not much changed. And then when he tells him that when Howard tells her Bernadette's father that he's worried about going into space, he says it'll be fine. A pretty girl like Bernadette will find another guy. So the final episode, Howard and Bernadette get married, and he's just been launched into space. So that is where we will continue with the next season. And now, I will see you guys in the next video. So please like, share, and subscribe.